Hi, Kelly. Nice to see you again. Thank, thank you for making time to speak with me about your iTeracare experiences so far. Right. So I hear you, right? So you've got some nice things to tell us about your experience with iTeracare?
Yeah, I've had lots of little things that have happened with it that have been really neat.
Cool, cool. So yeah, please share.
I'll start with, well, when I first got my iTeracare. So it was actually my husband that had the first experience with it. He was traveling for business, and I was talking to him before he went to bed at night, and he was telling me about how he had had heartburn all day. And so I told him about clay and how he could hydrate it and everything. But since he was about to go to bed, he didn't want to go through the process of it.
Um,
So he just went to sleep. And I spoke to him again the next morning, and he had been up all night with heartburn.
oh, mm,
He was coming home that afternoon, and it happened to be the same day that my new iTeracare came in the mail. So when he
nice.
got home, I was like, let's try it. And he's a little bit skeptical about things, which I think is healthy. And
Mm,
but he was still hurting after 2 days and one night.
mm.
So he was like, okay, sure. So I wanded his back for about 5 minutes, and then I had him turn over and I did his front, and 10, 10 minutes, pain was gone completely and never.
Wow.
So we were both like, okay, this is pretty awesome.
Wow. Yeah,
Um,
that's really amazing when it happens with a skeptical person,
right. Yeah.
and
Like,
even more so. Mm,
yeah. And it was quick too, which is just so cool.
very
Um,
nice.
yeah. And then there have been other things, like there was one time I fell down a couple steps and I twisted my ankle and landed on my wrist. And it was one of those like, ooh, this is gonna
Mm,
like mess up my next few days kind of feeling.
mm.
Like it was pretty intense. Um, but I went straight to the iTeracare and I wanded both of those areas, and the issue was completely gone.
Oh, wow, that's really nice. About how long were you wandering those areas?
5 minutes, maybe like 5 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, the pain just went away.
Mm.
Um, and then they're like, I mean, I bump into things more than I admit.
Wait,
uh,
I thought you were a ballerina. Wait a minute.
I'm a classy ballerina.
Okay.
um,
Wow.
I drop things like I dropped my phone on my pinky toe once, and that hurts. If that's
Oh
never
my
happened,
gosh.
it really hurts from up high. And I'm glad that it didn't break my toe broke the fall and it didn't break my phone, but like it was painful. But it was the same thing. I just did a couple minutes with the wand, like immediately after,
Wow.
and the pain just went away, and it was totally fine.
Wow. What setting are you using, like setting 1, 2, or 3? Are you using heat
Um,
in these situations?
I like to use heat. I
Okay.
have been using heat, and I have the pro, so it's kind of different. I also have
Oh,
the
yes.
red one, but I think in those cases I was using the pro wand. So I was
Mm.
using like medium heat and medium fan.
Okay. Okay. And in the case with your husband's case, was that then setting 3 on the classic?
Yeah, that would have been oh gosh, that was like 4 or 5 months ago. So I think I used heat,
Okay.
but I'm not certain. I don't
Okay.
remember.
Okay.
And that one, I don't know if you remember too, that one didn't have the light. The light was
Right. Right. Exactly. That device was
still
broken.
work.
That the blue light didn't work. Right. So yeah, and of course I've made lots of videos about how the blue light. Right. It's just a guide light. Yeah. I mean, I of course I do appreciate the guide light, but yeah, the device works fine. We know the device works great without the light, without the heat. People still have great results.
Mhm.
And of course, with some things, and I think, yeah, like we can think many things that we normally use heat for, like people get hot pads and cold pads. They use hot cold therapy. I mean, it's a very old thing.
Yeah.
So of course, it makes sense that, okay, heat can benefit in those situations too.
Yeah.
And so the device has that option. You know.
Mhm.
But
I mean, I like I always tend to feel a little bit cold, so I just love the warm feeling.
Oh, nice, nice.
It just feels good, so I use the heat.
Okay,
Um,
cool.
Another thing, so I have chronic bursitis from an injury about 15 years ago, and
Wow.
I hadn't had any issues with it for quite a while, actually, since the inflammation in my body had been reduced. But I kind of reignited it when I was carrying a heavy wooden table upstairs all by myself, and
Oh,
and it flared back up. So of course I used the iTeracare on it, and it was interesting because the pain would go away, and then it would come back, and then it would go away, and then it would come back, and
oh.
I like it would go away for a while. I was kind of getting annoyed that it wasn't like fixing it.
Mm,
But then I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? Like this is kind of similar to if I were to take a pain relief medication. It's a
right.
temporary relief, and that temporary relief is really nice. But
Mm,
I'm not having to put those toxins in my body or like potentially damage any organs. I can just blow the hot air on it and get the same effect.
right,
So
right. Very nice. Very nice.
yeah, that's pretty great to know that. And then eventually it did go away, like after I don't know, several days. But
Oh, okay. Oh, well, I mean, sometimes the body just needs more time to heal.
yeah,
Yeah.
but the temporary pain relief, like for hours, was really
No,
so, and I didn't have to take any pain relief.
cool.
Yeah, so there's that, and then similar thing with my husband. He had knee surgery a while back, and he one time was helping me in the garden and kneeling, and it flared up his knee pain, and it was the same thing, like where we would wand it, and then the pain would come back. The pain would go away, but then it would come back, and
Mm,
sometimes it would even come back a little bit worse. And I have a friend who's an acupuncturist, and she actually told me that as the circulation improves, it kicks up naturally occurring oxidation in old tissues, and that can cause discomfort. So that's what's happening when it's kind of coming back and maybe even getting a little bit
the
worse.
heal, the healing process.
Yeah,
Mm,
exactly. Yeah, but I think it was only 2 or 3 times that happened before the pain was relieved for him. So
nice.
that pretty quickly, yeah. And then we use it to like manage headaches in our family. We use
Mm,
I've used it during colds. It's hard. I feel like it's hard to tell exactly how much it's helping because like you can't measure against a cold. Like you don't know what the cold would be otherwise. And then I
right,
also have a lot of other tools that I use when there's an illness like that. But I just noticed that it feels good, and I believe that it's helping. So we
right,
use it.
right. Cool, cool. Yeah, right. It's become just another part of your arsenal.
Right.
I mean, right. I mean, you had already restored so much health to yourself and your entire family.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, we can never have too many tools.
Mhm.
And I'll be doing another video, which actually in a private Q&A video, I had done a lengthy discussion comparing iTeracare to magnetic pulsar, infrared, blood electrification. And I'm going to be doing another video on that very soon because they are not competitive things. Right? They can all work together. But yeah, I'm so glad. I mean, you've been using this, what are we, it's like 5 or 6 months now.
Yeah, I got it at the end of May, and it's
Yeah,
October now. So
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's good. That's, yeah, really good. So you've had a chance to see it perform in many different ways and
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. It's
very
helped get
good.
rid of skin tags. I had a couple skin tags under my arm, and those are neat to watch because
Oh,
actually every day I could see it changing a little bit until it was
wow.
gone. Like it almost would like get dark on the tip of the skin tag and
Hmm.
fall. A little bit would like fall off every day, and until
Wow. Wow.
it appeared. So it was really neat to like actually see the physical change, and then think
Mm,
about like, wow, it's doing this on like surface level of my skin.
right,
Um,
right.
and so,
About how long were you focusing on the skin tag?
um, let's see. I mean, it probably varied, probably a couple minutes for
Okay, okay,
one. I didn't have many. I just had like two of them, but um, yeah, a couple
nice.
minutes a day for a week or so.
Nice, nice. So that, yeah, that doesn't take a lot of time. And were you doing that? Were you doing like the basic protocol along with that, like the hands
Yeah,
and,
yeah, and all like different organs and
right, right. Okay, okay, good deal. And you're drinking the water. I guess you're,
day.
well, you've got a couple of different ways to structure your water also, but yeah, so you're drinking structured water.
Yeah, this is my
Okay.
preferred method now because I like getting the charge.
Oh, okay, okay.
Hard.
Oh, I have a question for you, something we haven't had a chance to discuss, something I've wanted to discuss with you. Can you notice any difference in taste or feel? Because you have three different ways to structure water in your house.
Yeah,
And I'm wondering if you can taste or feel a difference between any of those.
I'm not very good at telling the difference between water.
Okay.
I think some people are more sensitive to that than I am, and I
Right,
don't.
right. Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. But
I'm
all
not
right.
really.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I just wanted to ask. Um, now I think there was another huge thing that you've experienced with iTeracare, your vision, right?
I saved that for last.
Ah, okay. Oops, did I asked that question too
No,
soon?
no, yeah, no. That's actually the thing that I'm most excited about,
Okay, okay.
because it's quantifiable. It's just,
Hmm.
like I can notice how the iTeracare makes me like feel and how like things that I can see, but to actually get like numbers back from a doctor was really neat. So I'd seen other people reporting that the iTeracare was improving their eyesight, and I'm nearsighted, so I have a really difficult time seeing far away, and so almost every day for a few months, I just did a minute on each eye, just
Hmm.
to try it out because other people were saying it worked for them. And I went to the eye doctor recently, and both eyes have improved. And I'm in my 40s, so I don't know. At my age, I think it goes the other direction, right?
Right, right, right.
So to get improvement in both of my eyes was really awesome.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And so you were doing, and again, it wasn't like you were focusing the device for 20 minutes a day on the eyes. You were just doing a
Yeah,
couple of minutes.
yeah. I would just count to 60 on each eye.
Okay. Now, in this case, I'm guessing you were using like the no heat or low heat settings for your
Anywhere on
eyes.
do not use any heat. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah, no heat on the
right,
head.
right, right. Okay,
That's
yeah, cool.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So I
And
think,
I don't keep my contacts in when I do it either. I always take my contacts
right,
out.
very good, very good. Yeah, cool. Yeah, very good. Yeah, so that's amazing. Like I said, you have this very tangible, you got the numbers back from the doctor who has no idea that you're doing anything, no expectations. Of course, would be expecting your vision to get worse,
Yeah.
as you said.
Yeah, he seemed a
And
little surprised.
right, so he had to change your prescription
Mhm.
for your eyewear,
Yeah,
for your
for the
contact lenses.
yeah.
Yeah, very, very nice. Yeah, that's really good. I'm really glad to hear that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I think, so one of the problems we have with a lot of people is we are not managing expectations well. There's almost too much excitement. Everyone wants a miracle in the first 24 hours.
Mhm.
And fortunately, some people are getting those, but that's kind of unfortunate for most others because it just creates, unrealistic expectations, right? So it's the continuous time, some things take a week, things take a month, some things take many months of continuous use, right? Without going too crazy, right? Because some people will do too much, and we know we shouldn't do too much. So it's interesting to hear you are seeing results by using it, by doing this kind of the standard protocol, hands, feet, and then just, a couple extra minutes you're focusing on these trouble
Yeah.
spots.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, I don't always do even the standard protocol. Sometimes I'll
Right.
just go straight to, but I'm fairly well detoxed and
Right.
I've been doing like acupuncture and that kind of thing for a long
Mhm.
time. So I feel like my body's already prepped for.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. I think, that's, I think, a very good point. Because this is another kind of problem I see in the general iTeracare community. So I think most of my clients are really well prepared to see benefits because they're already doing so many other things right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So they may have plateaued, and it's kind of time to bring in another tool, and then they can experience things. So, and we know, like, you've done so much already. Um, so it's really good. Yeah. And I can't speak openly too much in the iTeracare groups about all the other things we do. So I won't mention them now. I'll keep it focused here. Since this is just an iTeracare testimonial. But yeah, you do. I mean, you are very well empowered, right?
Yeah.
So you're well empowered, well educated, taking care of your own health. And I mean, another great thing about the device is just everyone can have one in their home.
Mhm. Yeah.
So yeah, so
And
very.
I like what you said too about how it's not an instant fix for everything. There's things that I'm still working on
Mm,
um, using it, and I mean, hopefully, I'll be able to do another testimonial with you and come back and say
yeah, yeah,
it took me 10 months, but
yeah.
this
Very
result.
nice.
So yeah, it's not fixing everything immediately, but I've seen some really awesome and exciting results, and some things just can't be fixed overnight and shouldn't be. So
Right. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. And definitely, I'm looking forward to doing more testimonials with you.
yeah,
Keep up the good work, Kelly.
thank you. Of
And thank you for sharing.
course.
Before we go ahead, don't forget to click the subscribe button on my channel.